One of the things about coming into the church as a family man is, of course, your children. Now, when we started thinking about doing this, and when we finally did it, my oldest son was an 8th grader. My second son was a 6th grader. And then they were stair-step down from there. We came in with 6 children. And it's, I felt like at that point we had to think about not just me, and not just me and Colleen. We had to also think about our children. And first of all, their best friends were all at the Baptist church. They had a place there, they had friends there, they had an identity there, and they saw themselves as Baptists, even probably more than I did. I saw myself as more an independent fundamentalist, and they saw themselves more as Baptists. So what we did to try to struggle through that is Colleen and I decided to start reading different passages of Scripture after each dinner meal. And I picked the passages. So I would pick passages that I had struggled with as a Protestant, that I didn't know of a good answer and had never in seminary heard of a good answer, and couldn't find a good answer to these passages until I got to be, looking at the Catholic Church. Now, obvious one is John chapter 6, but there's Colossians chapter 1, verse 24. There's a verse in Zechariah. There's multiple different passages that are just really difficult to explain from a Protestant perspective. So we started to read those passages after dinner, and then we just talk about it and say, hey, kids, what do you think that means? And we just talk about that. And we probably did that for, I'm guessing, 3 to 4 months. We were trying to take our time, but on the other side, I knew that my son was going to be graduating from 8th grade and going into the Baptist high school youth group. And I felt, and Colleen agreed, that it was really important that we made this switch. If we were going to make the switch, we had to make it before that happened. Because once he was in that high school youth group, it wouldn't be fair to him to try to pull him out after he'd been in it for 3 weeks or a month or 2 months. It could have been done, but we had the time, so we felt like we should do it before that. So what we did is we got them thinking about the fact that there maybe was something besides Baptist theology, that maybe the answer was Catholicism, and the Spirit of God worked in their lives just as it did in ours. Now, our younger children just said something like this: well, Dad, if you and Mom think this is the right way to go, we're fine. But our older kids, they needed to struggle through some of those things themselves. We were blessed in that all of our kids ended up coming in to the church with us. They all got baptized about a month after we came into the church. Those high school years, we tried to do everything that we could to put them in contact with devout Catholic families. So we paid to put them into a really Orthodox, good Catholic school, high school. I looked at a lot of high schools before I settled on the one we decided on. It was an hour drive one way from home, but we decided that was worth that kind of effort because we had to give them a community where they could fit in and where they could be Catholic and where they could learn what it was meant to be Catholic. So, we did that. We ended up sending actually all 8 of our kids to those schools, and they were a wonderful blessing to us. It's a decision that, you try to manage as much as you can, but probably more than anything else, you just pray for your kids as much as you can. I've been blessed with my family. All of our kids are still Catholic. Some of them are daily communicants, but they all take their faith seriously, and that's a real blessing.